Is it fair to say that today's public opinion is largely against the war in Iraq? But have we ever considered, or have we ever looked at the positive side of the war? The United States' use of military force in Iraq, as well as other countries, has awarded us many economical benefits compared to our less aggressive, soft power tactics. I would like to refute the speech given on soft power over hard power. The advocate's claim states that banal imperialism is far more effective at securing our economy against nations than using our military. In simpler terms, that soft power, use of less aggressive tactics through diplomacy, is more economically beneficial than hard power, use of aggressive tactics through military force. The advocate's supporting claims are: 1. Hard power exposes our actions to the international community. 2. Soft power's subtleness eases its proliferation. And 3. Hard power builds resentment against Americans, whereas soft power promotes an embracing American culture. However, I would like to show you the economical benefits we have experienced from use of hard power in foreign countries that accept it and refuse it, making it a better alternative than soft power. A major claim is that hard power is more effective at securing our economy against foreign nations than using soft power. The advocate's first supporting claim was that hard power exposes our actions to the international community, giving examples of torture cases at various imprisonment camps in Iraq that have given the United Nations a means to scrutinize us. However, have we ever stopped to look at the actual support coming from Iraq, the country in question? The truth is that Iraq gives us positive support to the United States. Former Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, a novelist for the New York Post, discusses America's lack of up-to-date knowledge with Iraq. Ralph Peters states, "My fellow Americans, have you read or seen a single interview with any of the millions of Iraqis in Sadr City or Basra who are thrilled with that the gangster militia are gone from the neighborhoods? Didn't think so. The basic mission of the American media between now and November is to convince you, the voter, that Iraq is still a hopeless mess." This information is further backed by polls conducted by Pollster.com on 2,000 Iraqi adults in 2007. 65% of Iraqis believe coalition forces should stay in Iraq until its government and security forces are stronger and operating independently. This shows that the United States maintains some support by Iraqi citizens despite what mass media tells us. The advocate's second claim states soft power subtleness eases its proliferation. The advocate uses consumerism as a means for soft power to benefit us economically, bringing 70% of our GDP, which is basically our gross. It's like really big. I got it. At 70% is the largest component of our GDP. However, soft power through consumerism is not beneficial to our economy. According to the AmericanThinker.com, the United States foreign debt rose to 35% of our GDP, rising 13.3% from 2007 to 2008. China holds 24% of our foreign debt, the same country the advocate claimed our soft power was effectively fermented in, starting in American trends. The United States' use of hard power, on the other hand, has offered ideal profits throughout the years. After World War II, America has been receiving a sympathy budget from Japan for 30 years. According to politicalaffairs.net, Japan paid the United States $6 billion for 2008. Economically, this is extremely efficient with no fees required from us. Soft power may be easier to proliferate in other countries, but the funds needed to do so lands us in further financial debt, whereas our hard power gets us what we want, when we want, without compensation. The advocate's third claim states that hard power builds resentment against Americans, whereas soft power promotes an embracing of American culture. Surprisingly, Americans' relations with foreign countries was already sour before the war in Iraq. We cannot blame our bad international relations solely on our use of hard power. In a report on February 1st, 2002, done by All Business, during the 9/11 tragedy, numerous Chinese web users gloated over America's national tragedy. A country we have helped rapidly grow economically through soft power still holds high disdain towards America prior to the war in Iraq by 1 year. The same country that the advocate listed as embracing American culture still had the same disdain, 1 year prior to America's use of hard power in the war in Iraq. It is clear that our use of hard power has given us support in Iraq despite what our media tells us. However, using hard power or soft power when a country doesn't want it, like China, we see our public opinion for both is bad. But hard power can reap the most benefits with less peace through force. If both methods will earn us to sit in countries that don't want our help, we might as well choose the one that is most economically beneficial to us. I hope I have shown you the most economically beneficial method is hard power in relation to countries that accept it, like Iraq, and refuse it, like China. Thank you.
All right, I thought you did a nice job kind of redefining what the issue was about and labeling the secondary points. The challenge on the first point is basically discussing, basically you've got the two examples that the advocate's using, Iraq and China, as your illustration, and I thought the information on Iraqi support was pretty good. You had good information on that point. You cited it pretty clearly. The second point, the transition to the influence of soft power on China, I think needed to be explained a little bit more. I'm not sure how the Japan cost issue worked. That was not as clearly explained as it could be. On the third point, though, there's a very clear explanation about how soft power has not really gotten us what we need, and in fact it has produced some counterproductive results, and then you give us an explanation about why the hard power makes a little bit more sense. So I thought that you clearly contrasted your position with the advocate's claim. You had some good evidence on each of the points. I'm not always sure that you did a very effective job about analyzing the advocate's evidence, but presenting your counter evidence, I thought you did a very good job on that. All right. Jonathan, I believe you are our last speaker.